Abstract. Abstract is a summary of the content of the technical writing. It is the first thing in the paper that a reader will read after the title and the authors. An abstract is basically a short paragraph which is independent to the other sections in the technical writing. There will be word limits, typically in the range of 100 to 200 words, depending on the requirements of the journal's papers and the thesis guideline. These are the typical content of an abstract. Basically, it covers all the necessary aspects within the technical writing, only in the manner of very concise, with the purpose to give a quick overview of the respective paper. The content include the introductions or the background, the purpose, aim and objective, the method, the result and discussions, the conclusions and recommendations. You can take this as a guideline for you to construct your abstract, not only in terms of the content, but also the sequence of the content. Make sure you don't miss out any one of them, and the typical sequence as listed here is normally expected by the experienced reader when they are reading the abstract. These are the characteristics of a good abstract. It should be written in the concise and precise manner. It should be informative but not descriptive. You provide necessary informations without lengthy elaborations or descriptions. You will need to provide some findings of your research study. Normally are the key findings, and these findings should be expressed in the quantitative manner. You should not provide any information that does not appear in the main body. It is always a good practice of you, after you have completed your technical writing, revisit your abstract again to vet for all the informations. Make sure it does not contain any information that does not appear in the technical writing. The reason being is the abstract will be the first thing in the paper read by the reader in order to gain prior understanding of the content of your paper. Most of the reader will read the abstract words by words carefully, trying to figure out the content that is about to be delivered in the technical writing. There will be expectations from the readers out of the highlighted informations and findings provided in the abstract, as we know that these are most likely be the focus of the study or the major contributions of the respective research. Whichever they encounter in the abstract, curiosity will create, and their attentions will be on the respective findings while they are reading the entire technical writing later. Therefore, you will have to choose carefully what are the findings to be highlighted and avoiding providing non-essential information to the reader at the abstract. Also, you need to avoid non-standard abbreviations. This will give some confusions to the reader, which you do not have sufficient numbers of words to provide explanations to those abbreviations. You do not expect the readers, when they encounter this kind of abbreviations, searching throughout your technical writing to find the respective explanations. It will be quite troublesome to do that. Next, you don't need to provide any citations, figures, and tables. The abstract will be pure text, concisely written, providing an essential overview of the content of the paper. It represents the most basic form of the technical writing, covering all the essential aspects within the limited numbers of words, allowing the readers to gain some basic ideas out of the technical writing without reading through the paper. These are some common mistakes when constructing the abstract. It is either too long or too detailed. You know that the abstract is meant for information delivery. No further explanations is required, as the reader can get the explanations in the main body later. You only need to highlight the essential things. The details will be presented in the main body later. Therefore, you should leave the details out. I guess this is a common mistake when constructing the abstract, especially when we are the persons doing the research. We feel that everything that in the technical writings are essential, as we have put so many effort into the research study. Sometimes we feel that we have much more to offer. We have so many findings. Each of them means something to us emotionally, as these findings are acquired through rigorous and tedious research work, many days and nights spent onto that, and with high level of critical thinking skills. Therefore, there is a tendency for us to write the abstract rather lengthy and consists of too much detail. In fact, this is okay, especially during the first few drafts. You may try to draft the abstract first, putting anything that you feel is essential that shouldn't be missed within the abstract, and then putting abstract aside for a while, maybe a few days. Then you come back and revisit the abstracts. The purpose is to fresh your mind, to be less influential by the previous directions of thoughts. And then the next time you come back and revisit the abstract, you will be more objective. The other purpose is, when you draft the abstract for the first time, your attention is being put into two sides. One is finding the relevant informations. The other one is to integrate them together into an abstract. You may not be able to straight away filter those which is less essential or unnecessary, as you are fully engaged with the two tasks. Then you put your abstract aside. When you more or less cannot recall the major thing in the abstract, then you revisit the abstract. Now you focus on one thing, remove the redundancy, and keep those which is really essential. This process can be done several times until you are satisfied with your abstract. The second mistake is the gap of information, where there is large editorial inconsistency. This also commonly happens because during your first draft, you are extracting 1 or 2 points from each section of your paper. The writing style varies slightly among different sections of your technical writing, and sometimes your technical writing might be the product of several people, each contributing different part of the paper. There will be some inconsistency in terms of the writing style. Assembly them together, you will need to polish through them to ensure consistency in terms of the writing. Sometimes gap of information appear when you miss some part of the essential information, making this abstract to be unable to stand alone and providing a thorough overview of the technical writing. The reader will have to search through your technical writing if they really need the respective information. Again, this is troublesome. What you can do here, you can take this as a guideline, putting it as per a template form. Then you start to answer this template one by one within 1 to 2 sentences. After that, you review those sentences, considering yourself as a reader without any prior knowledge of the content of your technical writing, which in fact by the stage that you are doing this technical writing, as a writer, you have something in your mind already. You have to put this aside, purely consider yourself as the first-time reader, and then observe if all the information given from the template, are they adequate? Is there any gap of information? Then you can fill up those gaps. Next is the vague and imprecise information. Your terminology used in your abstract needs to be precise. The statement given needs to be specific, clear, and easily understood. Always provide meaningful information in the abstract rather than those unclear or general statements, which leads to the difficulties of the readers to distinguish your works with the others. Next common mistake, it will be no clear statement of the main problem. You know that every research study is focusing on one problem. That is the main purpose of conducting the research. Therefore, the problem should be clearly stated. At least you provide the rationales of conducting the research study. You will need to give clear descriptions for the methods, as this is another essential part in your research study. Try not to miss them out. You will just need to mention about the respective method, as most of the method being applied are quite standard. By using the proper terminologies to address them, the readers will have initial ideas of the methods being used. There may be slight variations in terms of the details. This the reader can acquire from your technical writings later. Another common mistake is non-quantitative descriptions of the results. The quantitative descriptions is very important. It gives the readers an idea in terms of the degree of the result they acquire in relative to something that they are able to imagine. When we talk about the quantitative description, we are not referring to the measured numbers, such as the weight in kilogram, such as the load in kilonewton. You may provide the result in terms of the measurement in your technical writing, but not in the abstract, as this does not help the reader to imagine the degree of differences of your result in comparison to something that they are familiar with. A good way to do these quantitative descriptions is for you to provide the percentage differences in terms of the results. Let's say now the proposed design of the specimen is 30% stronger than the conventional design. Then you know the magnitude of differences of the result acquired through this 30%, and you know that it is quite significant. Let's say now you can mention the density reduced by 1% as compared to the normal design. That 1% will tell you that the difference is not that significant, and the reader can straight away acquire an idea, the degree of significance, based on the percentage given. There is one more common mistake of constructing an abstract, which is only describing the structure of the document without providing any real or meaningful information. This defeats the purpose of the abstract, providing an overview to the technical writing for the readers to quickly grasp the informations as well as the message that you would like to deliver within the technical writing. Therefore, whenever you construct your abstract, always think about the purpose. What is the purpose of constructing your abstract? Whichever information providing in the abstract, whichever statement made in the abstract should serve the purpose of the abstract. With that, you should be able to avoid this common mistake of the abstract.